In this video, we're going to list all of the zeros and their multiplicities of the polynomial function f of x is equal to 9x squared multiplied by x plus 5 to the third multiplied by x minus 7 to the third. So anytime we want to find zeros, that's really the same thing as finding x-intercepts. And anytime you want to find an x-intercept, you just want to put 0 in the place of y, or in this case in the place of f of x, and then you want to solve for x from there. So for this particular problem, if we put 0 in the place of f of x, we get 0 is equal to 9x squared multiplied by the x plus 5 to the third multiplied by the x minus 7 to the third. Now this polynomial function is already factored on the right hand side, so we just have a bunch of things being multiplied together being equal to 0. So we can take advantage of the zero product principle or property, and we can set each of these factors separately equal to 0, and that's going to be all of our zeros, or our x-intercepts. And so finding our zeros, we're just going to set those equal to 0. So for the first one, we're going to set 9x squared equal to 0, and we'll divide both sides by 9, so that's going to give us x squared is equal to 0, because 0 divided by 9 is still 0, and if you take the square root of both sides, you get x is equal to 0. And so in this case, we just have x is equal to 0, and that's going to be our 0 or x-intercept. Now when we want to talk about what the multiplicity is, so I'm going to kind of abbreviate that, MULT for multiplicity. The multiplicity is just where you're going to take the exponent of whatever your 0 was. So technically this factor was really just an x, because the 9 we could have just left it alone. So the exponent on our x was a 2. So therefore the multiplicity of this x is equal to 0, 0 is 2. So just peel away the exponent and that gives you the multiplicity answer. Super easy. So let's do our second factor, set it equal to 0, so it's underlined with 2 blue bars. So we have x plus 5 is equal to 0, and we can subtract 5 from both sides. We get x is equal to negative 5. And so that's going to be our second 0. So again, if we want to figure out what the multiplicity is for this 0, all we have to do is look at the exponent of that factor, and that's a 3. So that means that that factor occurs 3 different times, meaning the multiplicity, or number of times it occurs, is 3. So let's do the same thing for the very final 0. We have a factor of x minus 7, so if we set x minus 7 equal to 0, add 7 to both sides, we're going to get x is equal to positive 7. So that's our last 0, or x-intercept, or root. And again, just look at the exponent. The exponent on that factor, x minus 7, is a 3. So our multiplicity is also a 3. So just to kind of go over what we've done again, anytime you want to find the zeros, that's really finding x-intercepts. So if it's not already factored, you have to factor first, but then you can set each of your factors equal to 0 to solve for the zeros, or x-intercepts. And then to figure out the multiplicity, what that really means is just how many times does that occur. And to figure out how many times something occurs, you just want to look at the exponent. So the exponent of each of these factors tells you the multiplicity.